Hiya, so I want to show you something that we did last week. I'm so excited to show you how easy it is with our lovely raw milk from Glenbury Farm in Ballyhaunis, which is so good. It's amazing and it's not too far from us. But if only there was loads more organic raw milk farms around the place, it'd be amazing. But anyway, can you see this here? You see there's a line. That is all yummy, yummy cream. And I wasn't going to bother doing this, but my 11-year-old was like, "Hey, can we just like make some butter with that cream?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think we have enough." But we did it with 3 bottles, and because that's what we had left at the time, and we got a little tub of cream, and then we were left with some buttermilk for our brown bread, which was amazing. So I'm going to show you how easy it is. I can't believe that I didn't think of doing this before. I've got 5 bottles to use. I'm literally going to just pour the cream into the bowl. It'd probably be better if I could scoop it out, but it's not wide enough for me to scoop it out, but it's fine. I just pour it in. Hold on, I'll just stop this here. I'm just going to pour and stop. Let's see, have we got any more cream left? Yeah, you see there's another little bit. There's another bit there. We'll just let it settle, because you see when it's settled, it's all just rises to the top. Another little glug maybe. Now, I think we'll leave it at that. I'll just go ahead and do that with the rest of the 4 that I have. Now, and I'm left with all of that, which is actually quite a lot. And it was only 4 bottles actually I had in the end, because they couldn't wait to get their hands on the milk when they came home today, and they've opened up 2 bottles already before I managed to get the cream off. But anyway, that's loads. I can't wait to see how much butter I will get. You don't get a huge amount of butter, but like you still get some of the butter, and then you get the buttermilk afterwards. And I'm going to show you how you can use the buttermilk as it is, or you can ferment it so it's like store-bought buttermilk. And then with this bottle over here, which is already opened, so it's got all of the cream and everything mixed into it, I'm going to show you how to make clobber milk. And clobber milk is kind of similar to buttermilk. It's like fermented milk. And I did this with 2 already that were like just going to be out of date that day, and I looked up what I could use for it, and I didn't have any rennet for making cheese, so I said clobber milk. And basically all you do is open up the milk, get a muslin or a loose cloth, put it over the top. I'm going to do that and put an elastic on it now, and I'll just show you. There you have it. And basically just leave that out at room temperature for 24 to 48 hours. And then you have your clobber milk. And you'll know that it's worked, because you'll get all kind of little bubbles, and it'll smell, nicely sour, but not gone off. But I'll do another little video about that. So back to our cream. Okie dokie. So we've got our big bowl of cream, and I'm just using a hand mixer. If you've got a food processor, that's obviously going to be a lot quicker, but we work with what we have. And even if you didn't have a hand blender, I've done it with the blender, the stick blender as well. So whatever you got. I'll just blend away here, and then I'll show you. You're going to blend until the butter separates from the buttermilk, and then you're going to stop. Now, this is the finished, well, it's not the finished thing, but that's this process. Look, that's the butter and the milky stuff there, you see, that's the buttermilk. And after a good few minutes, I switched from the hand mixer to the electric blender, and it was like way quicker. It was done in like a minute or 2. So if you only have either of those options, it's the blender I've used before, but I got a new hand mixer, so I thought it was going to be better, but it wasn't. So I'm literally just going to strain this in here. Now, what you're left with here is the butter, and what you're left with in here is buttermilk, but it is not cultured buttermilk. But I'm going to attempt to make cultured buttermilk out. Cultured buttermilk is what you get in the shop. This is just fresh buttermilk, which you can use for baking as well, but cultured one is better. So I'm going to attempt to make that into cultured buttermilk. And with this, what we need to do next is we need to wash it and squeeze it, and wash it and squeeze it, because we want to get any bit of water or watery buttermilk that might be left in it out of it, so that it stays, it doesn't go off as quick, and it gets nice and solid. So I just let that kind of drip drain there over the jug for a couple of minutes. And okay, how much did we use again? I think it was 4 bottles of milk. Only 4 I used in the end. 2 bottles were opened. So this is what we're left with. It's not loads, but it's lovely raw milk butter, so it's still really good. So I'm just going to scoop that out with my hands, and I'm going to wash it and squeeze it. Now, let's get it all together and give it a squeeze first. See when I'm squeezing it there? See all that that's coming out of it? That's alright. Squeezing it and kind of fold and squeeze, because you want to get all of that moisture out of it so it becomes more solid. Now I'm going to wash it. Squeeze again. Look how lovely and yellow it is. It's actually really cool. Yeah, I can feel loads of moisture coming out there. See, there's still little bubbles actually coming out. Thought I had it all out. Very nearly done. I imagine actually if you had a bigger lot, it's probably easier to work with. Another cold wash. Now I think that's pretty good. I'm happy enough with that. It's going to be eaten in a day anyway. Okay, next thing is I'm going to add salt. Clean my hands first so they're not so sticky. Whoopsie! It's alright. Now, it's only a small bit, so I'm just going to kind of always doing it with their hands, but I suppose if you're not keeping it cold, it's going to be starting to melt. Now, there you have raw milk butter. Yum. Okay, so our little dish of butter is all done, and now we've got our leftover buttermilk, and look, that even looks really yum. And you can use it for cooking just like that, but like I said, it's for baking. The cultured buttermilk is the best thing. So I'm going to, and I was looking up how to do it, and an easy recipe was like, just pour your fresh raw milk buttercream into a jar. Don't spill it all over the place. And then they said, if you get a tablespoon or 2 of cultured buttermilk, even the shop bought stuff, that, oh no, maybe I should stop this while I fill that tablespoon. So it's 1 tablespoon of shop bought cultured buttermilk. I'm going to do a second one. Now I'm just putting loose muslin over it. I have the 2 tablespoons of cultured buttermilk put into that, and I'll just put elastic on it just to keep any dust or anything like that. I'm getting into it, similar to what I did with the clobbered milk, which is working away there. And I'm going to leave it for, just say 12 to 24 hours. It's not that warm at the minute, so I'm going to say at least 24 hours. So I'm going to leave that over with the clobbered milk. And then when it's done, all you do is you put it in the fridge. It's good for 7 to 10 days. And then when you're using it for your bacon, they say to take out your couple of tablespoons of your milk and then use that for culturing your next round. So that's like really good. So you're kind of getting a process going, kind of like milk kefir or kombucha or any of them other cultured things. So I'm really excited to see how does this work. And if it does, I'll actually look at that. That definitely make 2 brown breads, or 1.5 anyway, one and a little one maybe. So yeah, really excited to get that going. So look at, out of our lovely raw milk so far, we've gotten a little dish of butter, and this is just from 4 bottles of milk. We've got some cultured buttermilk brewing, and we have a full bottle of clobber milk on the go. So this is excellent, especially when you use all of these things for baking and stuff throughout the week. So yum. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try something now that I haven't tried before. Just another thing I want to do with one of the bottles of raw milk. It's not a full bottle. It's nearly a full bottle though. It's definitely more than a pint in it, probably a pint and a half. And I just saw a video and it just showed how you could make like cream cheese using milk, heating milk and adding white vinegar, and then when you separate the curds and whey, adding in a little bit of butter and a little bit of milk to taste, and it makes a lovely creamy cream cheese. So I've been wanting to make cheese since I started using the raw milk, but I haven't got any rennet yet. Hopefully I'll get that for next week because I really want to try some mozzarella. But yeah, this one I have all the stuff first, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a go and let's see how it turns out. So the recipe said heat the milk until it's nearly boiling. I think it said something like 80 degrees Celsius. So once I see a few bubbles around the outside, I'm going to stop, turn it off, and then I'm going to add the vinegar. I'm going to turn it off there now because you see there's a few bubbles around the side. I reckon that's probably hot enough, and I'm going to add in the 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and I'm going to just stir. Oh, you can kind of actually see something happening already. That's cool. It's like it's scrambling. See that? Separating. I really hope this turns out well. Keep going here and I'll put the video on again in a minute. I'm just going to keep stirring it gently as it's cooling. Okay, so I just reread the recipe there, and it's actually 1.5 tablespoons. And then it says to stir it in gently until you see it separating, which I do. And then it says let it stand for 10 to, oh, that's curdling way better. Once it's mixed in, let it stand for 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, that's what I'm going to do now. That's all mixed in. And you can see it's all starting to curdle already. It's been nearly 10 minutes now. I'm just going to show you what it's starting to look like. It looks really good. I'm going to leave it another 5 minutes and then I'm going to strain it out. Okay, so I have let it sit for about 15 minutes. I'm going to strain it into a bowl, and let's see our curds and whey. What have we got? It looks just like kefir. A little bit left to come out. That back here. Oopsie daisy. Right, so that's what I have. It's not going to be a huge amount, but if you think about it, it'll probably be like a little tub of your cream cheese, which is exactly what I'm going for, so that I don't have to go buying more of these things that are already pre-made. If I can make my own things myself, that is my plan. Let me just get this, just stir it gently, and then it does say just let it drain for about 15 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's about your size of your tub. Now I'm going to add in some butter and a little bit of milk to whatever consistency you want, is what it says. So right, I'm going to stop messing with that now. Leave that there for 15 minutes and go do something else. Okay, so I've left it about 15 to 20 minutes, and this is, oh look at it, it's actually really cheesy. That's really cool. Okay, so I'm just going to first I want to actually just leave this here for a second And I'm going to, this is the whey that's left, and I was looking up as I was waiting for that to drain, can I do anything with the whey? And so it turns out that the whey could be used kind of similar to buttermilk as well. It says in baking or in soups because it's full of minerals and vitamins, and literally can use it for anything. It's slightly acidic, so it said baking, it'll be good for muffins, pancakes, scones, bread, or use it in soups and stews and anything like that. So I have got another full bottle. So everything, if you're wondering, oh gosh, that's an awful waste to your full bottle of raw milk, every part of the milk and every part of the process of everything we've been doing so far has been useful. So I have another full bottle that I can use. I'll probably use that just for the brown bread and see how it comes out. I have buttermilk on the go, and I have clobbered milk on the go, and I use like a good few litres of buttermilk for cooking throughout the week. So all this stuff is useful, it's going to be used. And now instead of having to get the store-bought buttermilk, I have some raw, nutritious buttermilk and buttermilk like liquids to use. So that's great. So that's that done. Okay, now I'm just going to dry this out because I'm going to pop all of this in here now. So this is our curds, right? And it says to use like 1 to 2 tablespoons of soft butter. So I'm going to use the butter that we made earlier today because it's perfectly soft. But I'm going to start with half. So that's about a tablespoon. And we'll just see how we go. And then it says like 1 to 2 teaspoons of milk depending on the consistency you want. So I'm just going to, this is a tablespoon. I'm just going to fill that up. Just a little bit like that. Let's see what that comes out like. Okay, I'm just going to blitz that up and see how it looks. So I just spent a couple of seconds there trying to blend it, and I'm going to add the rest of the butter because I think it needs more. So I'm going to put in the rest of that softened butter, and I'm going to put in another, I'm just going to pour in another tiny splash of milk because it'll help it to blend better. Now let's see how that works. This is what we're left with. A lovely, yummy, cream cheesy textured, full little dish full. I have to put it into the fridge now to let it chill, but I've had a taste already, and it's really nice. It doesn't have the same depth of flavour as the cream cheeses that you'd buy in the shop. It's way more milder, so it'd be lovely. Gosh, I'm just after thinking it'd be lovely like on baked potato, like chopped up chives or scallions or something mixed into it, or as a sandwich spread or something like that. Yeah, really nice, yummy. So I have gotten a full tub of cream cheese. I have gotten my whey for baking. I have my clobbered milk on the go, and I have my fermented buttermilk, and I had a tub of a little small dish of butter that we half used in this and the other half on brown bread already. So yeah, this has been a great very useful day of experimenting with our raw milk. Now next stop, rennet, I think. I just wanted to show you here, just these are usually 3 things that I buy processed in the shop every week, and we've managed this week to make them ourselves. So we've got a full jar left of the homemade mayonnaise. Now next week I think I'll definitely get a little bit of Dijon mustard to add into that for flavour. This is our hummus, which is turning out really nice, perfect, and that's just a 3 ingredient this one as well, isn't it? Yeah, they're both 3 ingredient, and they're so quick to do. And now we've got our cream cheese. With that settled in there, it doesn't look very good at the minute. Alright, I just wanted to show you really quickly before I cut into this. I can't wait to see what it's like inside. This is the brown bread that I've just made using the acid whey, the whey that was the leftover from the process of making the cream cheese. And it's not a fermented whey, it's called an acid whey because we used vinegar to separate, or to kickstart the process of separating the curds from the whey. So I actually didn't think that it was going to rise properly. I was all out of eggs, so I didn't even pop an egg in to give it a hand. And just look at it there, it has risen really well, and if you listen, it feels lovely and hollow. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it open, and I'll be so excited if this comes out really nice inside. But really easy to cut, it feels good. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I can't believe how much that has risen. Look at, see how nice and spongy it is. Oh my gosh, that is so good. So we have, I can use the whey for making buttermilk soda bread. Well, whey milk soda bread. I've got my own buttermilk going, and I also have the clobbered milk. I'm just going to show you the buttermilk. I've put it in the fridge actually, because it is ready now. So I've put it into the fridge to stop the ferment. And let's see, now I'll push this over here. If you can see inside, it's just really buttermilky looking, and there's a nice kind of, like if you give it a shake up, it was kind of, you could see a few tiny little bubbles. It's got a really nice smell, and that was out for just over 24 hours covered with the muslin. So I have put that into the fridge. I'm going to take a small bit of it and put it into a little jar to start off the next round of buttermilk and keep it going. So back in the fridge with that. And one last thing before we finish up, I'm just going to show you the clobbered milk. I'm going to keep the clobbered milk out for one more day, or at least part of the day tomorrow, because it's really not overly warm in here. So they usually say like 24 to 48 hours in, you know, a nice kind of warm place in the kitchen. So it's not been overly warm these last few days. I think it's been a little bit too cold, but it's all starting to separate nicely. And you might say, ew, that just looks like milk that's gone off. It's not, because raw milk does not rot the way pasteurized milk does. It just starts to ferment, and I can smell that now, and it smells really good. It doesn't smell rancid. It's got a slight soury tang to it, not unpleasant, and it's starting to separate nicely. It's getting kind of nice and creamy looking. I'm going to leave it till about lunchtime tomorrow anyway. I'll have a look then, and at that stage I am going to go ahead and I'll be making 2 breads tomorrow. So I'm going to use my own buttermilk. I'm going to use the clobbered milk tomorrow as well, and make 2 breads and see what they're like. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed my videos on my experiments with raw milk, and hopefully next week we'll experiment with some rennet. If not next week, it'll be the week after, as soon as I get my hands on some. So thanks a million for watching, and hope that it inspires you to get experimenting with your raw milk as well, and to source your raw milk. In Galway, I know they have the Glenbuy milk in Madyoke Farm, and also in the Hill Store in Briar Hill. So you just need to order it. And another great thing is you bring back your bottles and you get €1 off your milk as well. So it's yeah, you're not left with loads of plastic and Tetra Pak rubbish. Everything gets cleaned in your box, back into wherever you got it. Give your bottles in and take your bottles home again. And there's something really nice about that process as well. So I'm gonna put us nice here for tasting. Get some butter. Oh my gosh, I can't get over how spongy this is, and there isn't even any egg in it. Just 4 cups of whole grain spelt flour, 1.5 teaspoons of bread soda, and then enough milk to make it into a nice cake. That looks yum. Bye everyone.